Would you rather be stuck with a man or a bear? The TikTok trend sparking an important conversation. That is, quite the headline there, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna go through this article here from start to finish, and then I'm gonna give my thoughts on this, but, oh boy howdy, ladies and gentlemen. I have a feeling that we are gonna be in for a wild one here, so be sure to strap yourselves in for this. A hypothetical question has spread across TikTok, sparking a dialogue about the concept of danger, particularly for women. The question, originally asked by Screenshot HQ in a TikTok viewed 13.5 million times as of this article publishing, is this: would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear? The news brand took to the streets in early April asking women to answer with their choice in the theoretical scenario, and when confronted with the prospect, the women featured in the TikTok responded heavily in favor of being stuck with the bear. Bear. Man is scary, one woman replies. Well, I've heard about bears. They don't always attack you, right? Another woman reasons in the video. Unless you, F with them. So maybe a bear. Depends on what, but probably a bear, was one other reply. Oh, 100% a bear, which is terrifying to say, another woman replied. Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there. And what we actually have here is a poll where it asks, would you rather be stuck in the forest with a man or a bear? Well, me being the logical thinker here, I'm gonna go with man, and oh dear God, that is so unbearable. Are you joking me? So, essentially, ladies and gentlemen, we have over 60% of the votes in favor of being stuck in the forest with a bear. 7% are neutral, and 31% say man. Like I said, we're going to go through this article, and I'm going to give my thoughts once we are finished. And I've got some fairly, we'll say, choice things to say in response. Since the TikTok was posted April 10th, others have flooded the social media platform, posing the same question to family and friends. The answers have sparked discussions regarding the reality of the challenges women face when it comes to safety in our world. Meredith Steele, who goes by @BabiesOfSteel on TikTok, turned the camera on her husband and asked the same question. Would you rather our daughter be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man? She asks in the video. Her husband grimaces and appears to have a long moment to debate this internally. What kind of man? I don't like either, he answers. I don't know. I don't know. What about woman or bear? Steele asks. Woman, he replies, his answer fast. I'm leaning towards the bear, he says, scratching his head. Maybe it's a friendly bear. What if it's a friendly man? Steele counters. Her husband flinches. Oh, that's worse. TikToker Anaid Margot, hope I said that right, pointed out the hypothetical also speaks to the broader issue of support and victim blaming that many women encounter, especially in cases of assaults or attacks. She went into detail as to why one explanation in particular left her speechless. I was asking my sister-in-law about this. I asked her the question, just for giggles. She explained in part of her post. She was like, I would rather be a bear because if the bear attacks me and I make it out of the woods, everybody's gonna believe me and have sympathy for me. But if a man attacks me and I make it out, I'm gonna spend my whole life trying to get people to believe me and have sympathy for me. And that left me speechless. Okay, so now that we have finished with this article here, I have got quite a few things to say about this. The first segment to my response would be 2 questions for you guys. Number 1, how many of you guys on a daily basis interact with a man? I would hazard an educated guess and say that perhaps maybe all of you guys that are watching this video interact with a man on a daily basis. Now, let me ask a second question to this. How many of you guys on a daily basis interact with bears? Again, if I was to hazard an educated guess, I would say next to none who are watching this video. So if we're talking about assaults and stuff like that, the higher likelihood is obviously going to come from a man because we're around humans a lot more than we're around wildlife like bears. The second thing, unlike bears, people can be communicated to and reasoned with. Bears, especially wild-ass bears, cannot. Bears are hardwired because that is within their nature. They are predators. They are killers. And let me also break this down as well. When it comes to dealings with a man versus a bear, you have a much higher shot of having a better outcome of dealing with the man as opposed to a bear. Because let me also remind you guys that bears can outrun you, they can out-tank you, they can out-swim you, they can out-climb you. Basically, long story short, when it comes to dealing with the bear, you are basically screwed. You are dealing with being in shit creek with paddles this deep. In fact, you don't even have paddles at that point because, well, here's the thing. You're dealing with the bear, that bear's gonna look at you as food or a threat. And either way, it's not gonna end well for you. And I also want to touch base on this as well when we're talking about assaults and victims and all that stuff. And this is obviously gonna be, you know, a more sensitive and sore subject here. So I want to try to be a bit more delicate here. I understand, obviously, that things like that happen. I mean, that right there, I think everyone should be able to understand something like that, right? However, when we start breaking things down here, the reason, especially nowadays, why victims are not being believed is because there is a massive history of people lying about their victimhood, people lying about their assaults, people lying to get others in trouble and cause lifetime, irreparable damage to them. And when it comes to my stance on this, I absolutely 100% believe victims. Fake-ass victims, go fuck yourselves, because not only are you attention-seeking whores, but you are causing irreparable damage to those that you attempt to slander, but most of all, okay, most of all, you are causing irreparable damage to the actual victims out there that are too scared to come forward with their stories because they're going to be lumped in with the likes of you trash. And it's hyperboles like these that are just a microcosm of what is wrong with society today. Rather than having a perception on reality, rather than having an actual grip on reality and being realistic, they choose to deviate to hyperboles and what-if scenarios like this, bludgeoning their capacity to not only think critically and think rationally, but also lose their perception on reality as well. I also think that this right here could be used as another lowbrow attempt at attacking men, because especially for all the irrational man-haters out there, they would glop on this. They would be like, oh, well, see, there's proof, ladies and gentlemen, that, you know, man can't be trusted, that, you know, we'd much rather trust wildlife that can disembowel us in a fucking second than, you know, be around a man that can actually be communicated to and reasoned with. Like, I don't know if that was the actual intention behind the creation of this trend, but no doubt about it, it could very easily be weaponized, especially by those unhinged and are hateful. And yeah, no doubt about it, there are a lot of scary people out there, men and women, alright? And those people right there should be condemned, obviously, if they are guilty of doing, you know, bad things, like obviously like assault or, you know, things like that. But let me just once again reiterate something very, very important here. You cannot reason with a bear. You cannot communicate to a bear. If a bear sees you, 99.9% chances out of 100, it's on sight. They're gonna fucking come after you because they either look at you as food or a threat. I don't know, guys. Do you think I'm being too harsh here? Do you think I'm being too real? Well, here's another reality. Facts and logic don't care about what you think or how you feel. If I was in that scenario, if I had to choose between being stuck in the forest with a man or a bear, I would rather choose being stuck in the forest with a man. I would much rather be stuck with the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. Men, aka humans, are much more manageable. Bears? Yeah, I would much rather stay the F away from. But hey, maybe I'm insane for saying that. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Would you guys rather be stuck in the forest with a man or a bear? Leave your thoughts about this in the comments down below, as well as your feedback on my thoughts and opinions on the matter, and whether or not you guys agree or disagree with my takes. I always love to hear back from you guys in the comments down below. And that's it for the video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, you beautiful people. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.